Gold Star families are fighting back after Kamala Harris attacked Trump over an alleged incident at Arlington National Cemetery. Writing on X, "It's a solemn place. It's not a place for politics. The former president disrespected sacred ground, all for the sake of a political stunt." Well, she can accuse him of playing politics all she wants, but one thing is clear. Trump showed up for the families. Kamala never did.
Kamala Harris was sitting at her mansion in Washington, D.C. She was 4 miles away, 10 minutes. She could have gone to the cemetery and honored the sacrifice of those young men and women, but she hasn't. She never has spoken to them or taken a meeting with them.
Well, they did meet with them during the dignified transfer. They were with them at the dignified transfer.
No, she didn't. Kamala was not even there. NBC was forced to issue a clarification. Joining us now, and I'm so glad they're with us, are two members of the Gold Star family. Alicia Lopez is the mother of Corporal Hunter Lopez, and Jim McCollum is the father of Lance Corporal Riley McCollum. Both Hunter and Riley died during the Abbey Gate attack in Afghanistan. Jim, the nation's heart never really healed after what happened to your son at Abbey Gate. But I want to ask you, what is your response to Vice President Harris saying that Donald Trump used the death of your son to disrespect sacred ground?
Absolutely hypocritical. Like you said, good to see you again, by the way. But we invited President Trump to be there. The families that were in Arlington asked him to bring his filming crew to capture the moment. My understanding is they didn't want people on their phones. They wanted them to be in the moment and be present. And Trump was gracious enough to be there, for one, which I thought was an absolutely beautiful thing. I got to watch later that day on Monday, and it made me proud that he was there representing all 13 kids. But more importantly, I got to see Darren Hoover, and I got to see Kelly Barnett standing behind President Trump before he laid the wreath. And then as he went up the stairs, I got to see Nicole G's family. And for me, much like the RNC, where our kids' names were finally recognized, this was some recognition that we've been longing for and wanting. And it was absolutely beautiful for me to see. And then in a blink of an eye, she turned it political and into something it absolutely was not.
Well, Dana Bash on CNN discussed the Kamala statement. Watch this, Alicia.
My understanding is she decided to weigh in over the weekend. They were being asked a lot about it, understandably, knowing that this is policy-wise and politically, like we talked about, it is a sore spot for the Biden administration, no question about it.
Well, I didn't hear that until right now. A sore spot, Alicia? The deaths at the Abbey Gate? That's what they think of it? And who's politicizing this now? Your reaction, Alicia?
A sore spot? Well, they murdered my children. They murdered my son. They murdered the other 12. I don't think that would be a sore spot. I think they have a lot of explaining to do, and they're choosing not to. And they're choosing to politicize something that was meant to be an experience between a former president and the families and honoring our children. And instead, she's turning it into something to get the attention away from her.
What would you say to her if she were here right now, Alicia?
I probably can't say those words on national TV, but I would tell her she did have a speech that she wrote saying that the president should be respectful to the military and to the veterans. And in her words, I don't think that she qualifies to be the commander-in-chief. So I would kindly ask her to step down and to let President Trump be our commander-in-chief so that he can take care of our military.
And I know you have another son in the military, so you're always worried about him as well. God bless your family. Oh, my gosh, Hunter was a beautiful young man, and Riley, beautiful as well. But Jim, same question to you. What would you say to Vice President Harris after her claim that Donald Trump disrespected hallowed ground?
Again, the hypocrisy is just infuriating. I would ask her, Monday was a week and a day ago, week and 2 days ago. You've had ample time. You understand our frustration. You know we're disappointed that she has never reached out to us in 3 years. Not one statement, not a phone call, still hasn't reached out.
Wow.
The administration or her team, there's still nothing from her, even though knowing how bad we've been hurt and how bad it still hurts.
Just that fact, and a lot of people across the country tonight do not know that fact. That's why I'm so blessed to have this program on Fox News, because people don't know this. Kamala Harris has not reached out to any of the families whose children were slaughtered at Abbey Gate under the watch of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Not once. And who's disrespecting the military now?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's disqualifying. Yes, you're right, Jim. Jim and Alicia, thank you for your courage in speaking out. We really appreciate it, and the service of your sons.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.